Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Coco Gauff preps for Canadian Open resurgence after Wimbledon upset. American tennis sensation and world number 2 Coco Gauff had a thoroughly disappointing Wimbledon campaign. After winning the French Open just last month, she fell to the unseeded Diana Yastremska in the first round of Wimbledon after an uncharacteristic performance, which saw a total of 29 unforced errors. She now returns to the court at the 2025 Canadian Open later this month in Montreal, intent on putting the recent disappointment behind her. I am very happy to be back here in Montreal. I hope to have a good start to the hardcourt tour, since this will be my first tournament on this surface since last March. Gauff said at the singles draw ceremony, per tennis head. I have been thinking about returning to this tournament for a long time, so my wish is that things go well. I hope I can make it happen, she said, before jokingly claiming that she was obliged to be at the tournament as it was a WTA 1000 event. However, Gauff seemed well aware of the level of competition at the tournament, claiming that the venue switch made it all the more exciting. I also really like the change that takes place every summer between Toronto and Montreal. That makes you face the tournaments with a lot of freshness, as if everything were new, she said. Gauff is the number 1 seed at the tournament and has directly qualified for the second round. That means she will face either Victoria Tomova or Danielle Collins in her first match. Still only 21, Gauff had admitted to feeling mentally overwhelmed due to the short gap between her French Open triumph and Wimbledon exit. With third-seeded Jessica Pegula also crashing out in the first round, it was the first time in Open-era history that 2 of the 3 top-seeded players were eliminated at this stage. Gauff had claimed that she didn't have enough time to get back into it, per ESPN, and has now had almost a month to rest after the July 1st upset. The grass had barely settled on the All-England club's pristine courts before Coco Gauff began recalibrating her compass. Wimbledon 2025 had not gone as planned. The second-week ambitions were dashed early, a jarring exit that left her standing alone in the shadow of center court with more questions than answers. But if there's anything the world has learned about the 20-year-old tennis sensation, it's that Coco Gauff doesn't linger in disappointment. She transforms it. Now, with the North American hardcourt swing beginning to buzz with life, Gauff sets her eyes on Montreal and the Canadian Open, a tournament she believes could be her platform for resurgence. A tough exit, a tougher mindset. Wimbledon had been a fortress of dreams for many, but for Gauff, it turned into a mirror, reflecting both her strengths and the gaps that needed mending. She fell to a savvy grasscourt veteran in the third round, a loss that drew criticism from some and concern from others. But Coco didn't sulk. I've always said growth isn't linear, she told reporters days later, during a quiet press day in Boca Raton. I've won big, I've lost big. What matters is what you do next. Those words weren't just a soundbite. They were a promise. A champion's reset. Following Wimbledon, Gauff took a rare break from travel and public appearances. No glamorous sponsor shoots, no whirlwind media blitz. Just time, with her team, with herself, and with the court. Her coach, Jean-Pierre Brunet, explained their focus. We didn't talk about Wimbledon after day 1. We talked about movement, serve variations, court intelligence. We focused on who Coco wants to be at the US Open, and that begins in Canada. Fitness sessions got longer. Practice matches became more intense. And as the Florida summer sun pressed down hard on the courts, Gauff's resolve only sharpened. There were whispers from the practice courts. Coco's backhand was crisper than ever, her serve more varied, her net play tighter. It was not a rebuild. It was a refinement. Canadian Open, the turning point? The Canadian Open, often overlooked in the glitz of the hardcourt summer, holds special meaning for Gauff. It was here, as a 15-year-old wildcard in 2019, that she felt her first brush with top-tier WTA pressure. She lost that year, but gained something greater, clarity. Now, 6 years later, she returns not as the teen phenom, but as a Grand Slam champion, US Open 2023, a top-ranked star, and an icon in the making. But the expectations are heavier now, and the field is deeper. Standing in her way are names like Iga Swiatek, Aryna Sabalenka, Elena Rybakina, and Danielle Collins. Each hungry, each dangerous. It's not about who's on the other side, Coco said during Media Day in Montreal. It's about who shows up, and I'm ready to show up. Lessons from loss. Coco has often said that she's learned more from her defeats than her victories. Wimbledon, she admits, forced her to reconsider her approach to pressure. I let the noise get loud. Too loud. I was trying to prove something instead of just playing my game. That self-awareness is what separates great players from champions. Gauff now enters Montreal with a recalibrated mindset. Less about redemption, more about rhythm. She's particularly focused on early rounds, where upsets brew and nerves spike. Her team has developed match simulations to mimic early round surprises, with sparring partners playing unpredictable styles. Fan favorite but focused. Montreal loves Coco. Every practice sees fans crowding the fences, young girls waving signs, adults cheering with pride. She greets them all, signing autographs, taking selfies. But once she crosses the baseline, there's a steeliness in her expression. Being a role model is a privilege. But when I step on court, I'm just a competitor. I'm hungry. And the hunger shows. She's been spotted training with fellow American Jessica Pegula, sharpening her doubles instincts while refining single strategy. Her sessions are a blend of speed drills, cross-court rallies, and serve target work that last deep into the twilight.